Yeah, I would like to get back to Hendrik. I remember when we were designing the map, and I told you again, an awesome vision of mine. I said, let's imagine the captain being in his cabin, looking at his table, and he's got his seat charts, his maps spread out on the table. And then the captain is thinking about, okay, what would be the best course to reach our goal? And then the captain would have like this 3D map arising from the table, and he sees like the different routes he can go. You can go west, east, north, whatever. And he would be like planning his strategy, how we're going to sail, how we're going to move the ship safely to our destination. And how did you react to that? How did you get to reach our goal of this awesome map that we've got?
Yeah, so the basic idea for the map, after you told me about your vision, was well, first of all, we thought about what does a classical navigational card look like, or what did it look like back then when pirates were roaming the seas. And then we got some basic design elements which hint to that this is a map, right? You have to see from the get-go, when it lies on the table, you have to see that this is a map, and we are navigating on this map. We got this navigation star and all those little elements, the frame and stuff, which is basically making clear that this is that you have to view this as a two-dimensional map. But we also wanted to feel it more like you're watching the whole scene like in reality. So we wanted it to be a map, but not to be a map. It's like kind of like with the Cthulhu thing.
Yes, exactly. I said, Hendrik, give me a map, but don't make it look like a map. Make it look like something real. But at the same time, keep it as a map.
Yeah, right. It should feel like a map, but there should be more for the eye to be interested and for the player, because the players are sitting around the table and looking at the map the whole game. And so you wanted me to give them something to look at, which looks nice and is playful, but in the same way, not too realistic.
Yes, I think we have got exactly the sweet spot, exactly what I had in mind.
And we had several iterations. So in the first one, I think we didn't lift up the middling part here, which you can see. So this 3D effect, in the beginning, I think we didn't have this, right?
Yes, that's correct. In the first version, we had it like simply 2D. We didn't have this 3D hovering effect of the parts.
Right, and then you told me that it would be not clear enough for the player who where the actual playing area is. So we had to make that more clear, and but we didn't want to break the feeling the map had. So this is why we came up with this 3D uplifted part in the middle.
And it's quite interesting because the original idea comes from the prototypes that we used at the conventions, and we had this massive big wooden tiles that we would bring to the conventions.
Oh yeah, I remember now.
I always had a suitcase, a big suitcase for traveling, but it wasn't my clothes I had and everything. I had my clothes and everything for traveling in a small bag, in a suitcase, in a small backpack. But I had this big, massive suitcase where we had all our prototype stuff. And at the conventions, we had these tiles that we would build up, these wooden tiles.
Yeah, I remember when back at the convention, the plan still was to make single tiles, right?
We were thinking about that.
But it was just a prototype to show to people.
A prototype, right? Correct.
In proper size and stuff. Yes. Yeah.
And I had to cut it out into these tiles because the this XXL version of the map wouldn't fit into the suitcase. So I had to make it smaller. And then we got so used to the look and the feel of that. So we wanted to transfer this tile feeling and this 3D element into the board itself as well.
Really like all the little details with these waterfalls that trip over the sides. That's just amazing.
Yes, I love them. That's awesome. Now maybe we can find out, did you hide any secret Monkey Island gimmicks into the map?
Well, for example, if you take a look at Crimson Cove, which is in the upper left, the pirate victory, there are some, I wouldn't say like directly taken from Monkey Island, but if you remember the title screen from Monkey Island, for example, you might see the forms of the how the islands are built and how the houses are built on the islands. You can kind of get a glimpse of this skullish cave where lava comes out of the mouth and stuff. And so, yeah, I would say my childhood memory of Monkey Island did play a role here. Yeah, and the little secrets and stuff to explore is quite basically everywhere in the map.
That's part of the fun.
Yeah, that's part of my fun when I'm working on stuff like this, is just to go in there and wander around and imagine myself standing on this beach and looking down the sea and the sunset, and yeah, it's great fun.
I think it really works. I think if you've got this board, if you've got the board set up on the table and you really go into this dream world, I think you really get the feeling that you're actually sitting over here at the harbor on the beach, and you're watching the ship move in the horizon. This,
one of the biggest problems actually was the scale, because you told me you wanted it to feel like, not like the distance you pass during your play. You imagined it to be like a huge journey over, like you said, an adventure over the ocean. And that was kind of the problem, to figure out a way to let the player feel like it's the open seas, but also, I mean, the size of the map isn't enough to show a huge ocean. So we had to find a way to give this a feeling of distance, but also show all the little locations and make the player clear where he has to go and stuff.
Yes, exactly. Like, we wanted to have these details. We wanted to see buildings. We wanted to see the trees at the same time, but at the same time give the players a feeling of distance.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty happy, because it's exactly what we achieved, and it's exactly what we have right in front of us now.
Yeah, I think when you look in the middle of the map and just see the ocean and see all this blue, you get the feeling of, yeah, I'm out on the ocean. But in the same time, you can see all the little details and get lost in them. And I think we managed to find a scale there pretty good.